Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here tonight to recognize the Woodbridge Wrestling Club grade school team on a fantastic season, including winning the Wrestling League Tournament champions, playoff champions, Eastern Division champions, and an undefeated 20-0 record. Their two-year dual meet record is 39 wins and 1 loss. What happened in the 1 loss? Oh, that's not good to say in front of the kids. That's not good to say. Well, if it's true, then it's one thing. I'd like to start by calling up the coaches. First of all, this is Debbie Meehan. She is the 5th Ward Councilwoman. Most of you know this guy to my left, who is the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Joseph Massimino, longtime friend of mine, and he's here not only as a superintendent, but also as a parent of one of the wrestlers. If you're anything like the athlete he was when he grew up, because I saw it, even though I'm older than him, I played softball against him for many years. I probably played 40 years of my life. At one point, I played 5 different games a week. I was so crazy about softball. If I had to name the top 3 players I've ever played with or against in my entire softball career, your dad would be in that top 3. The shortstop, bat at third, homers, speed, the 5 tools. I have one of them. I can hit for average. I can't hit for power. I can't run. I can't throw, and I can't play defense. I batted last and I caught. That was me. He, on the other hand, was the star shortstop with a powerful arm, fast as heck, hit for average and hit for power. So I'm not surprised that you're a wrestler and doing really well here. Anyway, want to say a few words now that I gave you that lead in? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. Talk to Coach Reynoso. You know, I've had the luxury of sitting back and watching as a dad, which I don't get the luxury of very often. When Coach Reynoso said, hey, listen, we'd like to do something, I brought it over to the mayor, John Haggerty to my left here, and they moved on it instantaneously. So I just want to thank the mayor, the council, Mr. Haggerty, and the administration, because they truly are responsible for a lot of what this particular team has. The Cypress Center, the celebration at the Acacia Center, those are all investments that the township has made on behalf of youth sports organizations, specifically the wrestling program. As a parent, as a community member, I benefit obviously because my son takes part in it. But to watch it as a superintendent and see so many students competing at a high level and learning about things that I think are going to serve them very well later on in life, it's a tremendous honor. So I want to really thank the mayor and the administration for allowing us to have this celebration. Obviously, all credit to the coaches and the wrestlers for making it happen every day. And deserve this honor very much so. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad Joe mentioned Cypress, because years ago, when I was first mayor, I'd get invited to wrestling meets, and I'd get invited to cheerleading meets, and it was the 2 sports where gym time was always they were the last sports to get to gym time. I remember going to Avenel Middle and watching kids drag mats up and down the stairs to set up for wrestling practice. And the same thing happened in cheerleading. The space was just not available. So when we talked to the Hess company about the building, which is now Cypress, we did a lot for them as they were selling. They got bought out, and they were selling gas stations. They were selling the Hess building. They were selling the terminals. And we were very cooperative with them. So one day we decided to just say, hey, what are you doing with that training center? Would you consider donating it to the township? And it went through the corporate structure, and finally came down where the president has said sure, and they gave us that building and all of that land. So right away we said cheerleading and wrestling, because they were the 2 sports that were always got the short straw when it came to gym space. So we're so happy. I know Brian's done a tremendous job over there. Would you have 4 county champs this year?
For high school or for?
Didn't you have a bunch of high school champs that were through your program?
From our program,
Yeah. Four. I know more than you do, man.
Yeah, you do. Sorry.
Come on. So anyway, I read things. I pay attention in class. So we're just very, very happy that we have this facility now for these 2 sports. And look at the results today when you see these young men and the record they've produced, probably in a large part due to the fact that they had that facility. So we're thrilled with it. Let me call up the coaches first. Matthew Beedling. Also, Darryl Press.
Coaches,
Stay up here.
all of you guys should stand up here.
Anthony Robertson. Here, you guys want to take these and give them, if you don't mind? George Maglione. Samuel Edge. And Coach Brian Christie. Come on up, Al. Good to see you, man. All right, now we'll call up the star players from this unbelievably talented team. Anthony Cruz. And what I want to do is, like you see on TV when there's a football game and they show the offensive line, the offensive players, they got to, I'm Bobby Joe Tucker, or I'm an offensive tackle from Purdue, right? I want you to say your name, your weight, and maybe what part of town you're from, school, anything. Go ahead. You first got to go. Just say your name and your weight, and where you're from. Name, weight, and school.
My name is Anthony Cruz. My weight is 129. Right here or like right now? 124, and I go Woodbridge Mill. Woodbridge Mill.
Yeah, I don't care how much you weigh. I just care what you wrestled at. All right, good. Michael Dowling. You're the fisherman, right? This guy wins the fishing tournament every year over in South Park Drive, right? Except when that girl beat him 1 year. Oh, that was bad. Bad. All right, go ahead, man. Michael Dowling, 85, and I'm from Woodbridge.
Michael Dowling, 85, Woodbridge Middle.
All right, great. Hunter Edge.
Hunter Edge, 124, and from Woodbridge.
All right. Jason Island. Jason. Jaden Ferret. Michael Hernandez.
Michael Hernandez, 112 from Woodbridge.
All right. Armani Maglione. Joseph Massimino.
Massimino, 150, Colonial Middle.
Wait, stay here. Now, I always call on some kid, and since I know you, you're going to get picked on. Tell me about the season. Tell me about the 2-year record. Tell me all about this fantastic team.
Oh yeah, so I see a lot of the guys on our team work hard day in, day out, to make this possible. Our coaches, they try hard for us, they do a lot for us, so all thanks to the coaches and hard work of my teammates to get us working every day.
All right, man. Perfect. The reason I called on you because I saw you or listened to you speak at the ceremony over at the Independent Club of Colony. You were great there too. Lucas Perez.
Lucas Perez, 118, and I'm from Woodbridge Middle School.
Noah Perez.
Noah Perez, I'm 80 pounds and from Woodbridge.
Hudson Platt. I can shake your hand, man. Looks like it's hurt.
Hudson Platt, 112 from Colonial Middle.
Colton Quesada.
Sada, 100 pounds, Avenel Middle.
Wait a minute. How's the fishing going, man? Good, that's it? Stripers this year, how many? Only 5? Well, you're an off year. Oh, you only got 5. Oh, you sold the boat. So you're fishing off the surf?
We did Christmas boat before I sold it.
Oh, all right. I'll get your boat, you take me out. Let's do it, man. AJ Reynoso.
AJ Reynoso, 140, and Coney Middle School.
Gerard Salmon. Ethan Sparks.
I'm Ethan Sparks, 130, and I'm from Island Middle School.
Lucas Valentin.
Valentin, 175, Ford Wood.
Ian Vega.
I'm Ian Vega, wrestled for 90 pounds, and from Woodbridge Middle School.
Russell Vega and George Vitatow. All right, let me ask the coach now. Either one of you pick who wants to say a few words about this team.
Very hard-working team. Been through a lot with these boys. Some of them have been out here since 4 years old. Hard work, dedication. It's mind-blowing. Thank you to everyone for everything you've done for us. The Cypress Center is a godsend, and I can't wait to see what we can do at the next level. It's going to be something special.
Yes, I've been a coach for many years now, and I saw, a lot of you when you're very little, a lot of you going to high school now, some of you just started, 1 or 2 years, and the progress, has been tremendous. I just want to keep everyone, just encourage everyone to keep on wrestling. It's an awesome sport. It'll teach you a lot, once you get beyond high school and college. And there's an open invitation to anyone in high school to come help me next September and October with all the little kids again. I appreciate any help I can get from you too. And I just need help from the town to start putting all our championship plaques in.
Tell me who, I'm curious, who you wrestle against? What towns are they around here?
Well, someone show me a shirt. So it's the league that we're in is basically Central and North Jersey. So some of it, Phillipsburg, North Hunterton.
Middletown, South, Voorhees, Bridgewater, East Brunswick, Hunterdon Central, Newton, Hillsborough, North Warren, Washington Hills, Parsippany, Kittatinny, South Plainfield, Roseville Park, Kenilworth, Somerville, Warren Hills, Edison, Hopewell Valley, High Point, Morris Hills, Delaware Valley, and Ridge. Some of them, like Hunterdon's, are serious. Phillipsburg
No,
is serious.
so Phillipsburg, Hunterdon Central, serious wrestling, and
Yeah,
upstart, Woodbridge kids went in there and just took it to them.
Way to go, man. Way to go. Kyle Anderson, what's like say a few words? Sure. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Being that I have the rec department on my agenda, just want to say, and I've worked with some of these coaches and some of these players before, and I just want to thank all the parents for their commitment, because I know that wrestling takes a big commitment, and we will always hear about what great things were going on over there at the Cypress Center. You guys are splitting that with the cheerleaders, but that was the vision that I know that the mayor had a long time ago when we were thinking about what use that the Cypress Center could have, and knowing that the wrestlers would have a home there. Really, this is just the residue of the hard work and being able to have that facility. So just want to thank you all, and I want to congratulate all of the young athletes, and can't wait to watch you guys in high school.
Have you learned something that Corey Spiller was a high school wrestler? You were a high school wrestler? Teammates? Oh, yeah. I bet he'd kill you right now. Look at the size of him. You want to say anything?
Usually class above me.
Wait.
I just want to say congratulations to all the kids here today. I know it's going to sound a little, self-centered, but to me, there's never been any sport like wrestling that teaches you discipline. You were out there by yourself 6 minutes, and that is it. As I said, had the fortune to wrestle Brian, Rhino, Coach Rhino. So I want to thank all the coaches and the parents, because it's a long season. You're going from this top of the state to the bottom of the state. Recognizing some of those teams on that shirt, those are powerhouses.
Yeah.
And to have our powerhouse in with them is just a testament. Thank you very much. And I'll tell you what, my son wrestled a little bit. He's going to wrestle freshman year, whether he likes it or not. But he was with Woodbridge. We have such a great feeder system that's why our middle schools and our high schools produce such a great product every year, and it starts all the way at 4 or 5 years old. So once again, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
not sure what you mean by 6 minutes, because I wrestled freshman year at St. Thomas Aquinas, and I don't remember ever going a full 6 minutes. And it's not because they ever pinned anybody. It's because I never went to full 6 minutes. I was terrible, and I quit wrestling right away. Brian or Debbie, want to add anything? Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, we're out here now to proclaim May as National Physical Fitness and Sports Month in Woodbridge Township. I'd like to read this proclamation. Whereas Woodbridge Township has been recognized and named by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services as a National Youth Sports Strategy Champion, the first municipality in the United States to attain the honor as a NYSS champion municipality. That's first in the country. And whereas as an NYSS champion, Woodbridge Township and the Mayor's Wellness Campaign employs the Department of Health and Human Services physical activity guidelines, which recommend that every child engage in at least 60 minutes of physical activity per day, as fit and active children are more likely to thrive academically. And whereas the Mayor's Wellness Campaign has demonstrated a commitment to support safe, fun, inclusive, developmentally appropriate, and accessible youth sports opportunities, and further encourages the health and well-being of youth through initiatives and programs that include engaging in physical activity, sports, and education that not only ensures they are physically active on a daily basis, but also educates them how to be physically active for a lifetime. Now, therefore, I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Council, do hereby officially proclaim May 2023 to be National Physical Fitness and Sports Month in Woodbridge Township. And I should mention Councilman Greg Ficarra, who's not here. He's out traveling for business. He is the conscience of physical fitness in Woodbridge Township. He's been a councilman since 2007. He's a former athletic director at Perth Amboy High School. He runs the Mayor's Wellness Committee. I know of all the meetings he had to miss, this will be the one he least would have wanted to miss. But he should be recognized and thanked for the job he's done for the last 15 years, leading the effort for physical fitness in Woodbridge Township. And he's the main reason why we received this award tonight. So thank you to Councilman Greg Ficarra. I'd also like to ask Councilman Collins to say a couple words again. We met the guy who is on this national committee. He's a Woodbridge native. He's a friend of Kyle's. He came up for us a couple of months ago and talked to us and then introduced this to us. So it's really Kyle that also got this award going. So you want to say a few words?
So, first of all, thank you, Mayor, and a lot of credit does go to Councilman Ficarra for spearheading all of our recreational initiatives. We have a very strong recreational program in town, and the Mayor mentioned that we were the #1 town, or the first town in the country to get this National Youth Sports Strategy Champion status. The #2 city is San Antonio. So Woodbridge is ahead of San Antonio when it comes to youth recreation sports. So a lot of that goes back to even back when I first started as a councilman. The mayor made mention, and I was in agreement. I know Councilman Ficarra, I know Councilman Small, who is very active in our youth recreation sports, on how we need to bring things back to rec. It can very easily, when you have the facilities that Woodbridge Township has, travel sports and AAU sports can easily come in and take over. And we made sure that we brought it back to recreation. So over the last few years, recreation sports has been a key focus for our council and for our mayor. The facilities that you see that are going up throughout the town, the Acacia Center, the basketball courts, our ice hockey rinks, everything that we're doing, we're really trying to make sure that we have enough access for our kids that are the average player. You know, the kids that are average that want to get better. And you know, the mayor always teases about himself, you know, because he was an average athlete growing up, and you know, he thinks about those kids. He thinks about his experience and how you always want to make sure that you have those kids at heart when we're thinking about our recreation program and how we're going to make it grow. So I just want to thank him, and I want to thank the rest of the council for their involvement and for their support for this National Youth Sports Strategy championship status, and also for the flag raising for today. So thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Kyle. Kyle gave me a compliment. He said I was an average athlete. I was far from an average athlete. I woke up every day and wished I was an average athlete. I also want to thank Dr. Massimino and the Board of Ed because they have a terrific sports program at their high schools. They embraced middle school sports several years ago, so that complements the rec program. I want to thank Rec Director Brian Molnar, the former Rec Director Vito Simaluka. They've had a lot to do with increasing recreational opportunities for kids in Woodbridge Township, and that's why we got this award, because all the collaboration of the council, the administration, the Board of Ed, and all the volunteer parents that make all this possible. So thank you to everybody. And now, boys, if you'll help us raise this flag.
Notice requirements of the public meeting law have been satisfied concerning the schools of the Woodbridge Tribune and Star Ledger published a notice on November 25th, 2022. A copy of the schedule was posted on the municipal bulletin board. It should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Bauer. Here. Councilwoman De Jesus. Councilwoman McCullough.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Vice President Anderson.
Here.
And President Facada. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from May 9th, 2023?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to take letter A, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 entitled Traffic, and this is with regards to residential permit parking on Victoria Way. With that said, can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A open. And no comment from the public. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is an ordinance authorizing the Township of Woodbridge to accept conveyance of real property from the redevelopment agency. This is with regards to 400 Amboy Avenue, 114 and 116 North James Street. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only.
John Gutierrez Woodbridge. On letter B, the property exactly, where's the property located?
It's on Amboy Avenue over by where Marty's Transmission and the property behind there.
That's before the main street?
And over by Mosaic, not the Mosaic property, but the properties over by Rush Street.
Okay,
Over there.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on letter letter B?
Good evening, Tom Mowers. Just following up on Mr. Dark's question. Is that specifically the gas station that was there, or I think it's called American Tire, and the homes behind it?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And what's the cost of that?
This was a property that was owned by the redevelopment agency, so there was no purchase involved.
It was owned by them?
That was property that is being conveyed from the redevelopment agency to the township.
Okay. Do you know what they paid for it? Because it's still taxpayers' money, either fall, whichever property you want to take it from.
I think, Council President, that the auto building on the corner was around 400, and I think both houses were in the low to mid 300s.
Thank you.
So roughly about $1 million.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments under letter B? Here are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Under first reading ordinances, we will take letters C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J by consent. Can I get a motion that the ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on May 26, 2023, with notice of public hearing to be held on June 13, 2023 at 6 p.m.?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And Mr. President, under resolutions, we will take an inclusive 1 through 27. Can I get a motion to approve 1 through 27?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Mr. Mitch?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Regarding resolution number 10, specifically, we abstaining for the Colombian Club of Avenel and the Avenel VFW. And on resolution 13, I just want to thank the mayor, administration, and engineering for trying and attempting to get grant money for the Paddock Street paving project. That's a big project, so any assistance would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Any other comments on the resolutions?
Mr. Mitch,
Yes, sir.
on number 10, I need to abstain, Woodbridge American Legion.
Any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
So now we will go into our public comments portion of tonight's meeting. When approaching the microphone back there in the blue section, please state your name and what section of the township you live in. You will have a one-time opportunity to speak up to a 5-minute period. All videotaping and recording must be taken from the rear of the room in the corded-off area. There will be no shouting. Please be respectful of one another. Please make sure that there are no signs or posters in the aisles. The public session allows for 5 minutes. The 5-minute time frame includes remarks by the speaker and any response or interaction by the council or administration. While this is a strict minute time frame, the speaker will be allowed to complete your sentence if the time runs out during mid-sentence. Otherwise, there will be no extensions or allotment for additional time. When there is 1 minute left, I will give you a signal just to notify that you have 1 minute remaining. Do we have anyone that wants to make public comment?
Again, John Rotari. I want to go back on James property, the repair shop over there. I see there's a lot of cleanup done over there now. And before the development agency purchased the property, wasn't property supposed to be cleaned up before you accept deed on it? And now that cleanup being done, who's paying for it?
This is the property that was mentioned earlier.
Right.
With the transmission.
Right.
The prior owner. The prior owner.
The prior owner is responsible for it.
Now, who is the prior owner? The development agency?
No, the prior owner that used it as a auto body / gas, whatever they did there, the prior owner is paying for the cleanup.
Well, again, if the prior owner sold it to the development agency, right? And
They
now...
didn't sell it to a developer.
Pardon me?
They didn't sell it to a developer. They sold it to the redevelopment agency with an agreement to pay for the cleanup, and the money's in escrow, and we're using the money, their money, to pay for the cleanup.
Now, question would be, they only got $410,000. Cleanup could be more than that, don't you think so?
Why would you say that? How do you know?
Because I know somebody spent over $300,000 clean up their house.
It's got nothing to do with this property.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
Good evening again, Tom Maris, Sports New Jersey. Excuse me. Now, just keep kicking in. At the other night, I was at the school board, and I specifically asked the council president and the head of the school system, Dr. Massimino, to define what is a male and a female. without going too far into the weeds, they came back at the end of it and said they could not. They deferred to whatever the state is telling them is a male and female. You might want to watch that tape, because I think that harkens terribly about where the school system is going. When we have honest people like them that are afraid to speak up and say what is a male and what is a female, and have to defer to whatever our governor is saying as a male and female, I think we've got a real problem. And this council should adjust it, as well as the voters that are listening. They did mention how the collaboration between the board and the mayor and the school districts went well as far as Wall Street was concerned, and not putting those apartments up there. And again, kudos to everybody that was involved in making that decision. They didn't need 94 units right next to the school. Hopefully the parking situation works out to the betterment of the town. Going back into apartments, I'd really like to know, has the township, with their tax abatements for pilot programs, looked into, I think each and every one of those units that have been constructed throughout the town in recent years is obligated to put 10 or 15% set aside for affordable income. Have you verified the number of people that are now occupying those dwellings that are affordable? If not, why not? I'd really like to know that answer. Also, is there any calculation of the number of homes that are going in there in Section 8 and the impact on our schools? How many children are they bringing in? Those are my questions for this evening. Thank you.
The last part of your question was regarding Section 8, sir?
Correct.
And can you rephrase that, or could you
Oh,
say it
yeah,
again?
I'll repeat it, yeah.
that?
No, I won't repeat it, I'll just repeat it.
Yeah.
Do we know how many families in Section 8 are coming into the town and putting children into the school district? Is there any way of telling that?
Section 8 is a federal program.
I know.
And usually the school systems identify based on free lunch students. They don't often provide statistics based on if a family is using a Section 8 voucher. And I know this just through the Department of Education. We don't typically, but we will go and look through there to see if there are any students that are coming into our school system through the affordable housing that you're mentioning.
And the reason for my question, and Mayor McCormick and I are getting along much better these days, and I don't really mean to step on his toes, but quite some time ago, matter of fact, a few years back, when he was promoting these developments, he said, if there are more children coming into the school system, I'll pay that differential. And I think we're looking at, if my memory serves, $1,200 or $1,500 per student that he would kick in back to the schools. That's why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, just the 10% of the Coalition for Affordable Housing, obviously, as you know, is much different than Section 8.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Mayor, do you-
I would just answer the first question by saying that we have no authority to really do anything to verify that the people are affordable or not. That's all handled by the federal government. We're not allowed to get involved. It's a crime to get involved. We can't refer people to those lists. It's all handled by the federal government, so we're not involved in that. As far as Section 8, we also don't have any information as a town as to who's Section 8. A Section 8 could be next door to your house. Section 8 can be anywhere, as long as the owner is willing to rent it to somebody who's got a Section 8 voucher. That's also something that we don't really have any control over, nor can we ask about it. It's private. There are kids, certainly, in the affordable units. There's kids in the non-affordable units. We did talk about covering any additional incremental costs from those students. The number probably for an incremental student is $100, because everything's in place except maybe workbooks and pens and pencils. But rather than actually calculate that and do it monthly, annually, whenever, we have given the board so much money between the last two referendums. It was $57 million in 2017. It was $87 million in 2020. We're actually thinking of another one for next year. So the board has not asked us to do anything to reimburse them for the incremental cost of the kids that are in those apartments, because we're so far ahead of the game with what we give them in those two referendums that they haven't asked us to do anything more.
Not to push my time limit, but again, it was just a matter of contractual obligations that you set forth, those developers, about how much has to be set aside for.
No, we didn't set it forward. That's set by the, by,
It's part of the contract.
it's set by court. 15% of all units, whether they're in downtown, anywhere they are, anytime there's units in Woodbridge, 15% have to be affordable.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maris.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
My name is Ken Koblenz, Woodbridge in Sherry Street. I want to know about all of these buildings that are going up all over. I'm 69 years old. I'm in the process of getting evicted to my place that I know nothing about, looking for a place to move. I have 8 days to get out. I'm looking all over. I'm not looking for a freebie handout. I want to pay rent, but all of these places around here are so expensive. They price the average person. I've worked 40 years construction all my life. I'm disabled. And there's no place to look for. The senior citizen housing places are all a year, 2-year waiting list. And it's, you know, a little ridiculous for such a city like Woodbridge.
So you're asking me, is it a rhetorical question, or is it you're
The
just
question is, how much percentage of these high rises that are going up is affordable housing? What, 5% maybe?
So as Mr. Maris had pointed out before you, typically between 10 and 15% of the new developments are reserved for affordable housing. That is that typically is a program that is managed by a law firm. It's a lottery system, but you do have to enter that through the developer and through the
What am I
law
supposed to
firm.
do in a temporary? I got 8 days to get out of the place. Didn't know about the apartment, about getting evicted. Paid my rent, not because I didn't pay the rent. And where am I supposed to look for somewhere? Park in a parking lot here and go to sleep out there? Or, you know, like I said, I got money. I'm not rich. I'm just an average person. And looking to live and pay for rent of a place I could afford. Not $3,000 a month.
Well, I definitely understand that, sir. I'd be willing to talk to you after this to find out if there's any type of program or if there is a apartment complex. I know, like you're at right now, in 8 days, it's a very tight window to be able to help somebody find a place. But
The question is, sir, I'm sorry for interrupting.
no, it's okay.
Is I have a 55 and over place I just seen, but the people said July 14th, the other person is leaving. We have a shot to move in, but that's, 6 weeks. That's all I got to say right now. Thank you.
So after the meeting, sir, I'd be more than happy to talk to you.
Kyle, you may be able to reach out to, we have a multi-service unit.
Sir? Sir?
We have a multi-service program at the Evergreen in Colonia. There's a lot of really good resources there that they can probably help you, at least try to guide you and give you some answers. We can give you the phone number for them.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Hello, good afternoon. So I'm here from Island
Hey,
and
ma'am.
Linda.
Linda?
From Island, and I have a question about, I guess it's beautification, if you will. So on my street, we have a lot of the power lines. They're up the way power lines usually are. Is there
What
any?
street? What is street?
Trento Street.
Trento, okay.
Trento
Up
Street.
to the- Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I know they just took down 2 trees. One was in front of my house and the other was next door. And the trees were almost hitting the power lines. I don't know if they took it down for that reason or because of the sidewalk. They're trying to fix the sidewalk. But is there any way to change the power lines from being up high? Maybe, I don't know if there's an underground or any move towards taking the lines from being just on the street outside, the way they traditionally are.
So Occasionally, our Public Works will go around and cut back as we prepare for the storm season, cut back anything that they view as potential hazards to our power lines. There are very few neighborhoods that have the underground service. Some of the newer development neighborhoods have the underground development. I don't know if that is something that we're looking at in the future as far as having underground utilities.
That wouldn't be up to us, it would be up to PSE&G, the gas company, the water company, cable company. That's not, that's monumental.
Yeah, it's a big project, and you typically see it when a new development, like a new neighborhood gets built, like I believe, you know, the fiber optics that go under the road. But it is, you know, you have to open up the road, sidewalks, all of those. But as far as beautification, have any of the trees been completely removed, or is it?
Yes, those trees are completely removed.
Okay.
Yeah, they were taking the roots out today.
All right. Are we looking to replace any trees?
Any tree we take down is replaced.
I'm sorry?
Any tree we take down, I don't know that we took it down,
Yeah.
but any tree that we take down, we replace.
Okay. Yeah, they did offer to replace.
Do you know if it was Woodbridge Township or was it PSE&G that removed that tree?
I don't.
Okay. Do you have an idea of the address, the street address on
Yes,
Trenton?
my house, 136 Trenton Street.
136. Okay, we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public? Hearing no other comment, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, we'll go into our agendas, and I'm going to start. My agenda is basically in order, but I do want to bring up our Juneteenth event, which will be June 17th. That is going to be from 1 to 6 p.m., and that is going to be at the concert grounds behind Woodbridge High School. We're very excited. The Woodbridge Organization of Neighbors Advocating Change is going to be working with the Independent Club of Colonia and the local NAACP. We'll have live music from Epic One. We'll also have DJ Rand that'll be there. And we'll have many vendors, and there'll be a lot of organizations that we're going to be recognized. We'll have youth organizations that are going to come out and put dance routines on. And we're just hoping for good weather. If we have good weather, we will have a really good time. There'll be lots of great food and ices for the kids and activities for the kids. So please come on out, and it's for everyone. As you know, Juneteenth has been nationally recognized now for the last 3 years, and this is Woodbridge's 3rd year in having it, and we're really excited about this year. The Woodbridge Library is also doing a piece on Black Americans in Woodbridge, and it's going to run between June 3rd and June 29th, and it's called The Seen and Unseen, Black Residents of Woodbridge Township. So it's going to visit some of the history of blacks in Woodbridge, and I've been told that they've interviewed many people throughout Woodbridge Township and people near and far that have knowledge of Woodbridge Township and those that have lived here for very long, many years, long before we were all here, and up to present day. So please check that program out, June 3rd to June 29th. Oh, I guess my time is up. So just make sure I follow along with Councilman Vacara. He is out today. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council Vice President. My agenda is in order. A few announcements. Ford's Business Community's first cruise night for 2023 will be held on Monday, June 5th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at Sipperstein Paints parking lot, 372 New Brunswick Avenue in Ford's. Come out and view vintage cars, music, vendors, and more. Ford's VFW Post 6090 Memorial Day services will be held on Monday, May 29th at 11 a.m. at their monument located at King George Road at Coriel Street. Let's remember these heroes who lost their lives defending our freedom here and abroad. God bless all our troops, our first responders, and God bless America. Thank you, Council Vice President. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you very much, Councilman Small. Thank you, Council Vice President. My agenda is in order. Memorial Day services will be at 9 a.m. at the Port Reading Firehouse, Port Reading Fire and EMS. And as Councilman Bauer says, let's remember all our veterans that served, pay the ultimate sacrifice. God bless all our first responders, police, fire, EMS, and God bless America. That's all I have. Thank you.
You. Moving on to Councilman Spiller.
Thank you, Council Vice President Anderson. Item number 4, the Woodbridge Golden Saints will be having a murder mystery dinner fundraiser, I Love the 80s to Death, a rockin' radical night of mystery. The event will be held on Saturday, June 10th at Acacia Center. Doors open at 3:45, dinner served at 4, and the show starts at 5. For tickets, please email eboard@goldensaints.org. Item number 9, the Avenue VFW Post 7164 will be conducting memorial services on Monday, May 29th at 10 o'clock at the post located at 60 West Park Avenue. As the rest of my councilmates have mentioned, let's remember what Memorial Day is about. We have many rights and privileges, and that's because of the efforts and sacrifices of our military personnel and our veterans. There are plenty VFWs throughout the township, so if you can't make the one, try to make at least one. The rest of my agenda is in order, Council President. I'd just like to acknowledge and thank all our brave men and women who have served in the military as veterans. Went off an old one. As Memorial Day approaches. Thank you to all our emergency responders, fire, EMS, our Woodbridge Police Department, CERT, and all of our public works and township employees. God bless America. Thank you, Council Vice President Anderson.
Thank you. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President, Vice President. My agenda is in order. I also just want to announce the Memorial Day service for Colonia VFW, which will be holding a traditional Memorial Day service this Sunday, May 28th at noon, followed by a barbecue that all are invited to attend. The cost of the barbecue is $25 per person, $20 for seniors, and it's free for children under 10. The post is located at 606 Inman Avenue in Colonia, across from the library. And also, thank you to all our veterans that have served our country, who are currently serving our country, and who gave their lives for our country. Please take a moment this Memorial Day weekend while you're enjoying gatherings with your family and friends to remember them. Be safe and enjoy your weekend. That's all I have.
Councilman Patel.
My agenda is also in order. Thank you, Mr. President. I have a couple of announcements. The first one, we are thrilled to announce that about 2 weeks ago, on Wednesday, May 10th, we had a successful ribbon cutting ceremony for the brand new parking lot in the heart of Oak Tree Road Business District in Islin. This new parking lot is located at 42 Marconi Avenue in Islin and provides about 40 additional car parking spaces for our community. The event was graced by the presence of our Honorable Woodbridge Mayor, esteemed council members, dedicated township employees, and passionate business owners, elected officials, and prominent area leaders. We express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every individual who attended this historical ribbon cutting event. The weather was just beautiful, and our guests were treated with a wonderful assortment of refreshments and snacks throughout the ceremony. Lastly, we extend our warmest congratulations to the business owner and area residents and the visitors. The project was made possible through the joint cooperations of Virani Jewelers, Oak Tree Road Seed members, and the Woodbridge Township. We thank the Honorable Woodbridge Mayor, the Township Administration, the Planning and Engineering Departments, Police Department, the Public Works, the Virani Jewelers, the Oak Tree Road Seed members, who played a vital role in making this parking facility a reality. My second announcement, yesterday on May 22nd, a significant event took place in Islin as the township first time ever took an initiative to power wash the sidewalks. This initiative was focused on Oak Tree Road between Route 27 and the Parkway Bridge, which represents the primary business district of the area. Not only Oak Tree Road received the power wash, but the sidewalks on other intersecting and nearby streets, such as Middlesex Avenue, Marconi Avenue, Coraja Avenue, and LaGuardia Avenue, were also power washed. In order to witness the results, I went out around 7 p.m. to inspect the sidewalks in the area. In my opinion, they appeared noticeably cleaner and brighter, reflecting the success of the power washing efforts. I'm extremely happy that the sidewalks got power washed and extend my heartfelt thanks to our honorable mayor, the administration, the police department, the public works, and the Oak Tree Road seed members. Also, this weekend, the Memorial Day is approaching. I would like to thank to the brave men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifices for our freedom. In Iselin, on Monday, May 29th, the Iselin Veterans of Foreign War Post 2636 will be conducting its annual Memorial Day services as the Post Monument on Oath Avenue at 11 a.m. That's all tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. So, Councilwoman McCall.
Thank you, Council Vice President. My agenda is in order. I just have a couple of things I need to say today. First, I'd like to take a moment to thank Police Officer David Ricardo for performing an act of kindness to a senior citizen who was greatly appreciated of his help. His actions are a small example of how amazing that our Woodbridge Police Department is and serves our community. I would also like to thank all who have served and we are blessed to live in the home of the free because of the brave. Thank you to all the men and women who have served and are currently serving. My Memorial Day services for Woodbridge were going to be on Sunday for the Coast Guard. We will be at 10 a.m. at the boat launch and the waterfront at Seawarren, and on Monday at 10 a.m. the VFW on Woodbridge on the corner of North James and Pearl Street will be having their Memorial Day services. Thank you again to all the men and women who serve, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mitch?
Thank you, Mr. President. My agenda is in order. Just one comment with regards to the upcoming primary election, which is 2 weeks from today. Those registered voters who choose not to go in person on that day, they also have an opportunity to vote by mail or the early voting, which is open June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're at the Acacia Center for Reading Avenue in Woodbridge. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Simaluga.
Thank you, Council Vice President. I will address mine and Director Bruce in his absence. I have an in-rem foreclosure action, and under Public Works, I have a refund under the open road permit for escrow account for 87 Hunt Avenue in Islam. I have a change order from the first contract 2022 to the Dover Road and Columbia Boulevard intersection improvements. Thank you, Council Vice President.
Thank you. Director Huffman.
Thank you, Council Vice President.
Director Darden.
Thank you.
And legal? Nothing to do, Council President. Okay, I just want to wish everyone a happy, healthy, safe, and memorable Memorial Day weekend. Say that 10 times fast. And I want to wish all of our students that are going to be graduating from college, congratulations. Our students that are going to be going through their prom season, a happy and safe prom season. Thank you very much. That's all I have. Motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.